Time for the digital marketing news this week. This week, I want you to leave a comment. Everybody who leaves a comment will enter themselves into a drawing for a chance to win this super sweet Ignite Visibility briefcase. So go ahead and leave a comment at the bottom, and I will pick one person using a random number generator to win some swag. I got a bunch of great swag. This is a really cool briefcase. Okay, so here's the first thing that happened this week. Okay, so Facebook adds sponsored posts in groups. So now in a Facebook group, if I wanted to, I could go to the group and I could say that I would like to sponsor a post within your group, and I could advertise within that group. So really interesting. So you might be able to generate some extra revenue if you actually own the group, and that is because of the sponsored post in groups feature. So now you can reach out to brands, you can convince them about your level of influence on Facebook, and you can ask them for a sponsorship. So kind of interesting, right? So now technically, if I wanted to, I could find the top 20 Facebook groups in my industry for digital marketing. I could go to them, I could pay them to do a sponsored post within those groups. I could look at how many impressions it gets, the amount of clicks, the amount of conversions. So it's kind of like media buying, which I do quite a bit of, but it's within Facebook groups. So now they're bringing that to the surface. There's probably this stuff was going on behind the scenes beforehand. I'd like to hear, are you going to try it? Go ahead and leave a comment below. Do you think that sponsoring Facebook group posts is going to be a good thing? Next thing, Shopify has a web app that is displaying the Google Core Web Vital scores. Now this is kind of interesting. I have some data for you later on Core Web Vitals and how far off everybody is. But Shopify has come out and they have created this app that shows how you're doing with Core Web Vitals directly in Shopify. Next thing, WordPress 5.5 has a feature that's going to block malicious plugins. So great news, WordPress working to make it so that their community, so that their content management system is secure. And then next thing, and this is the study that I alluded to, so Screaming Frog, which is a great web crawler, go ahead and try it out. I've used it for a very, very long time. There's many other web crawlers out there, but Screaming Frog's a great lightweight web crawler. You can crawl your website, competitor's website, see a bunch of data, right? They come out with a study. The study says that fewer than 15% of websites meet Core Web Vital benchmarks. Fewer than 15%. And Google's rolling out this big Core Web Vital update where, they want you to have these certain things in line. And so anyways, the study analyzed 2,500 keywords and 20,000 URLs and found that just 12% of mobile and 13% of desktop passed these type of Core Web Vital metrics. And they're thinking that one of the reasons for this is because a lot of websites are on WordPress. And so WordPress in general is not doing a very good job passing Core Web Vitals. That CMS is having some issues there. They've added so many plugins, it's gotten kind of wonky, right? Next thing, Google launches virtual business cards. So Google rolled out people cards this week. So now anybody, not just a celebrity, not just somebody who's written a bunch of books, can create a people card. So you can go right now and you can have your own person card, your own individual presence within Google if somebody searches for your name. So people are going to be jumping on this like crazy, but it's only available in India right now, but they'll probably end up rolling it out to everybody. It's perfect for professionals, artists, performers, influencers, entrepreneurs, anybody who wants to be in Google, which is most people, I would think, except for those rare people who just want to be off the grid, who I totally respect that as well. Next thing, Google may lose market share because of an Android update. So DuckDuckGo, making a super hard push. They're making a run at Google right now with all this privacy stuff. I feel like DuckDuckGo feels like it's their time. You might have seen the billboards. I have. They're all over California. I was driving all the way down California yesterday. There's billboards up. DuckDuckGo calling out Google for tracking people online. DuckDuckGo does not track people. But basically, they came out with a study, which is kind of another shot at Google. And they said that Google's mobile market share could take a hit when Android introduces search preferences menu. So Android, they're going to let you choose the search preferences that you have. So like the type of search engine that you want, for example. And their research from the study indicates that 24% of people in the US 24% of people in the UK, 17% of people in Australia would select a search engine other than Google. So obviously they commissioned the study. I don't know where they got their data, but that might be true. I mean, I feel like these companies get so big, and then especially in large tech, and then a lot of people start not liking them. Next thing, if you saw a bunch of ranking changes in the last week in Google, that could have been because there was a big glitch. So don't worry, there was a mistake. Google rolled out some stuff, they rolled it back, and they said that on Monday we detected an issue with our indexing system that affected Google search results. One of the issues was identified. It was promptly fixed by our site reliability engineers. So that's been pulled back. Next thing, Google's rich results tool supports article markup now. So now you can use Google's rich results test tool to validate article markup. And then next thing, Google has a couple comments about linking. They've been talking a lot about linking lately. They say that guest posts don't have a ton of value. They're talking about, in the author bio and things like that. I kind of disagree. And I feel like a lot of times they just want to downplay and make linking feel like it's not a big thing when it is important. And then they also say that you do not need a mix of follow and no follow links. But again, just general kind of talk around links. And then next thing, and my last thing today, LinkedIn adds new alerts to Sales Navigator. LinkedIn Sales Navigator really taking off. A lot of people using this. So essentially, this is a way to get leads and more business on LinkedIn. But essentially, they have a buyer interest alert. This is going to signal when employees or decision makers add a saved account with your LinkedIn page or website. So if somebody's at your account, or they're interacting with somebody or a certain element on LinkedIn that would align with what you're trying to sell, one of your services, that's going to trigger a buyer interest alert. Interesting, right? Cool. Good idea, LinkedIn. Next thing, relevancy alert. It uses artificial intelligence to surface the most important alerts so you don't miss out on great opportunities. Cool. And then finally, LinkedIn is adding a new outreach list and lead list, and that's going to give you an overview of your activities with each contact. And that's really helpful too, because I literally cannot keep up with all the stuff on LinkedIn. It's like 150 messages a day. Add that on top of all the email accounts and other social profiles, it's just too much. So all of this stuff is going to be really, really helpful as well. All right, so last thing, here's your homework. If you're in the B2B space, consider LinkedIn's new Sales Navigator. Give that a shot. If you're in content marketing, make sure you use the article markup to give search engines more information about your post, and try that new rich results test tool to validate it. If you're in India, you can make your Google People cards, and I'll bet that comes to the US soon. If your website doesn't meet the Core Web Vital standards, give that a shot. I'm going to be doing a big webinar on search engine optimization soon, so check that out. We're going to go over all the latest, coolest stuff. You're going to love it. And by the way, if you haven't signed up for our pay-per-click webinar with Google next week on Wednesday, make sure to sign up. I'll put a link below. And then Shopify, you can check out your Core Web Vitals there in the app. And then if you're a Facebook group admin, consider running sponsored posts to increase your income. And if you're an advertiser, consider trying it in a couple groups while all this is new. Also, love for one of you guys to win one of these Ignite Visibility bags. They're pretty cool. Look forward to sending some swag out to you. Like, comment, subscribe. Can't wait to see you next week. Have a great day. See you next time.